Hi everyone, I'm Pauline. I am the developer relation at Wormhole, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about what Wormhole is and why you should consider it for building your multi-chain app. As many developers out there, you might have faced the problem of creating application that can operate across multiple blockchains. Interoperability remains a significant challenge, and it's very important to understand what kind of solution you have out there. The goal of this video is to explain to you under 10 minutes what Wormhole is, what it is not, how does it operate at a high level, and why you should consider it. Just so you know, this is the beginning. We'll follow up with a series of videos that showcase each Wormhole product and how you implement it in the code, because at the end of the day, that's what we're interested in. Imagine a universe where each galaxy represents a blockchain ecosystem. So they're far apart, communicating between them can be challenging. They all have their own standards and mechanism. And this is basically the kind of issue Wormhole is addressing. So we want to address the problem of blockchain isolation, liquidity fragmentation, and our end goal is really to abstract all the cross-chain complexity for you to be able to focus on building your app. So it's very important you think of Wormhole as not a single solution, but more as a modular toolkit, right? So you can have different tools that you stack on top of each other based on your needs. I think that at the end, it's never about the tech, right? It's really about what you guys want to build. So what can you do with Wormhole? Wormhole is a generic message passing protocol. And I think it's very important. You need to understand the core messaging primitive there, because then you will realize how everything is designed around it. So you can send cross-chain message of any arbitrary data between blockchain. You can also do asset transfer. So it facilitates the movement of token, including NFT, across supported chain. Also, we have a whole bunch of tooling. I strongly recommend you to check out the new version of the Wormhole scan, because it will make your cross-chain development 100 times better, I promise. It's important to clarify what Wormhole is not. So Wormhole is not a blockchain. It's a communication layer that connects different blockchain, but it is not a blockchain in itself. Also, it is not just a token bridge. So yes, we facilitate transfer, but it offers much more than a conventional token bridge. And that is important to remember it. So how does it work? Wormhole is smart contract based, which means that it treats each blockchain as arbitrary computing platform where you can do message passing between smart contracts. I think that's the easiest to think of it. So here's a quick overview of a message lifecycle. I think we can break it down into on-chain and off-chain components. Everything starts with the core contract. This is your entry point. So your contract will call the emitter contract. That calls the Wormhole call contract, and they usually use two main methods: publish message or verify message. Let's say you take the publish method. This will trigger an event and adds the message to a transaction log. So here we enter the realm of off-chain action. So from the transaction log get picked up by the Guardians. So the Guardian network, the Guardians, there are actually 19 of them. What they do, basically, they monitor the core layer. So they validate the message by signing what we call a verifiable action approval. VAA is the shortcut. And this is a signed attestation of an observed message. Now, this VAA, it gets picked up by the relayer. So a relayer is basically any off-chain process that relays a VAA to a target chain. Wormhole has two sorts of relayer. So the most common, the one that we recommend to use because it's easier, is the Wormhole relayer. It's a decentralized relayer that uses the Wormhole relay contract, but you can also have a custom relayer. This is really based on your need, but you'll be in charge of setting this up. It's important here that we mention also the SPI. So the SPI, they don't do any validation work. They just observe so that they don't interfere directly with the message. That's what I mean. And then you have an API, which is basically a REST endpoint that will retrieve any data for VAA or Guardian network. So it's very important if you want to know at any moment any sorts of information. Then the final step, the relayer sends the message to the target chain contract. So it's very important here as a concept to understand that a transaction is considered final when it has reached a certain level of finality on the blockchain network, it was initiated on. So this level of finality, we call that consistency level in the Wormhole protocol. And please note that different blockchain networks use different consensus mechanism, right? So they all have a different finality assumption. So when you would expect finality to happen on Ethereum or Solana, this is a different time, of course. Well, now that you have a solid overview of Wormhole, let's start coding. I'll show you how to send your first cross-chain message with Wormhole. Keep coding and see you soon.